I just don't want to play for clicks. I want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. Him leaving Colorado, a shot across the bow at Dion. I don't think Dion cares.
We saw Logan Diggs move on from LSU to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Don't be shocked if you see John Emery potentially maybe at another school, maybe like a Miss State or even maybe like a Texas A&M.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number one seed, you should have an easy path, but quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. So I was talking about SiriusXM Channel 159, SportsGrid Radio Television Network. So I was talking about I can change the channels. I got the control, but I got the control for the cable box. I don't have the control for the actual TV, so I can't get into like the smart part of the smart TV. And therefore I can't, the closed captioning and stuff like that, but I can change the channels and all that. So I've just sort of learned to live with it. But Kurtz, you said that somebody played a practical joke on you once before, and this is a pretty good one, actually, especially like for someone that watches TV and sports all the time, that needs to watch sports. Like, I would not be pleased. What was the joke that your buddy pulled on you?
Yeah, buddy was living with me at home. Now, I didn't have the 6 TVs back then, maybe 3 TVs. He went to Florida to go as a family for about 2 weeks. He took all of my remotes with him. I mean, all of them. I didn't have, and this is a little different back then. Look, I had no way of changing anything. It's like, what the hell? All my remotes.
So how long did you spend looking around for them first before you realized? Like, you must have been looking around kind of
Once again, you took in 3 TVs, cable boxes. I probably had at least a half a dozen remotes, and none of them were around? None of them? I'm like, this isn't good. This is not. I didn't misplay 6. And I knew right away. Then I found a note that he left me. Have fun changing the channels. See you in 2 weeks.
What did you have to do? Go buy a bunch of new remotes? You would go to Radio Shack?
I bought a universal remote or 2. It worked okay. We tried to program those things for different TVs. It drove me insane. But I said he won. But as I told you during the break, the day he came back, a buddy of mine, everything he owned, he was living with me, and I mean everything he owned was on my roof. We put everything, nice. His TV, his clothes, his cloth, everything was up there. He didn't notice at first. We're looking out the window. Hey, nice day, huh? And he sees that, and I don't think he was pleased about that. But hey, I felt better about myself.
The cruelest joke that I ever pulled was on our boy Darsh and his boys in Las Vegas. Was they're Hindu, right? So they're not even Middle Eastern. They're Hindu. But, they got beards and they wear on their head. And they're sitting in the Bellagio casino playing gambling. And we were with a cop. and that we knew. And I told the cop, go up to them and flash your badge and tell them you're Homeland Security and they're under arrest. They got to come with you.
That was the best.
And he did it. He did it. He walked right up to the table. Hey, and he flashed like their face.
I'll never forget.
And the best, Cam was there. I was standing like 50 feet away watching it, kind of peeking away, like I was sort of watching. I was watching it. I actually felt bad after. I was like, when they came over,
you were like, remember your line to me? You go, Cam, I went too far. I go, it was amazing.
people are like, bro, man, that was a bit much, man.
That was awesome. I'll never forget that. You guys were like a
They thought it was funny too. A couple of them thought it was funny, but few of them didn't.
Yeah, it was awesome. That was the best. That's right.
Politically incorrect now as you can get.
Excuse me, sir. Came up. They got the tap on the shoulder.
Guys got a freaking real badge and everything too. It was amazing. Oh wow. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that was a good one.
You know what? I gotta be honest with you though, screwing with somebody's remote's pretty bad because it's hard to get the same one. It's almost impossible.
I wouldn't be happy about it.
No, I wouldn't be happy either. You got him back good, George. I'm on your side. Put everything on the roof.
Level 3 has begun. This is Sports Rage. I'm Morency. We're sweating out the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. We're going into the third period of play. It's 4-2 for Edmonton after 2 periods of play. Feels like this intermission has been on forever. Ian Cameron's going to join us in a couple of minutes. Another wild night at the Garden tonight. Brunson left the game. He came back, but they win. And they actually cover the point spread, which is crazy because the Pacers were up by double digits. It really looks like we could have a New York two-step, right? New York. And George Kurtz is with us right now, Long Island style. Must love watching the Rangers just march on, huh, George? Are you a Rangers hater in the playoffs? Like, do you cheer against them?
Well, am I betting on them? And I am, so go Rangers. All right, so as long as I have money on them, I don't care. I'm not a Rangers hater. If I didn't have money on it, I wouldn't be rooting against them. It's not like my friends are needling into me that the Islanders suck. We all know the Islanders suck. So as long as that's not happening, no, I'm winning money on them. So no, I'm not rooting against the Rangers, but I'm not rooting for them either.
It could be like I said, it could be a New York-Boston conference finals in both the NBA and the NHL. We know the Boston Celtics are going to be there. Are the Bruins going to beat the Panthers? Probably not.
No.
I still think the Panthers are going to win the series. All right, so before we get you out of here, Kurtz, tomorrow's games, the Rangers and the Hurricanes. So the Rangers are out of the friendly confines. The Madison Square Garden has treated them and the Knicks so well over the last month or so. They're plus 145 underdogs against the Canes, minus 170. Have the Canes found something here, Kurtz? What do you think about Game 3 here?
Well, first, the prices here are pretty similar for a change. My best feeling is the over, right? Only 5.5. I'm going to take the over here. I think once again we're going to get 6-7 goals in this game. Don't really trust Frederick Anderson. But if Carolina loses this, it's all over, right? It's all over but the crying. They have to win. They have to come out strong here. They've come close. Probably deserve a better fate here. But I can't bet them minus 176. I'm going to bet the Rangers again. Plus 146 right now. That's where my money has to go. That's where it's just the value's too good. The Rangers are not a bad team. They're a really, really good team. I can't bet minus 176 in Carolina. I think that number's way out of whack.
Rangers look like legitimate Stanley Cup contenders. I'm not going to dispute it. I took the Rangers in Game 1 and in Game 2, but I can't lie. I was regretting it for most of Game 2, thinking, I should have known that Carolina would come back and play well. I think Carolina are going to win, Cam, this game tomorrow night.
Yeah,
the Rangers have been extremely not lucky, but they've had a lot of puck luck, and they're a very good home team. Carolina need this game tomorrow. I'll lay the 70 cents with the Canes.
I agree with you. I'm going to take them in regulation and minus 1.5 too. I like where George is going with the total. The bottom line is this: if Freddie Anderson's bad early, he's going to get the hook, even though he hasn't been that bad. Shesterkin's just too good. You said it. You like it's just that overtime. Carolina had chances and chances and chances. The value would say the Rangers, but I got to believe Carolina. This is their season on the line. I see the Canes winning like a 5-2, 5-3 type of game. So I like Carolina as well.
Who do you have, Kurtz? Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars tomorrow night.
Flip a coin. I mean, this one's just weird here. How does Dallas not finish off that game last night up 3-0?
Well, like the
So
Raiders
disappointing.
making a draft pick, flipping a coin.
I'm so angry.
I don't
about
believe that story. I can't believe that.
Nobody will do. No, I'm with you.
But
we do not. Do
I think
that.
it was.
No way.
I think it was more metaphorically speaking. But Terrion Arnold told a story about the Raiders flipped a coin between him and Brock Bowers. But listen, Dallas, Colorado playing with house money after stealing that game.
Must win for Dallas.
Which puts
And
pressure on
Colorado
them.
beating too. I'm going to take Dallas. All right, I think they're going to rebound. All right, it's a good price here. Ettinger has to play better. They have to realize Colorado is really, really fast. They make adjustments so well here. I really thought last night was sort of a microcosm of of Game 1 in the first round, right, where Colorado got smoked by Winnipeg 7-6, and they made great adjustments for the rest of the series. Well, they seemed to do that after period 1 yesterday. They made good adjustments after that, and Dallas didn't score again. They had chances there. Tyler Seguin lifts that puck 6 inches. I think it was early in overtime. They win the game here. He didn't. Good save by Gorgiev there. So give me Dallas, but it'll be a small. I don't feel great about this at all. Small on Dallas, probably on the over once again in this game.
And who do you have with the Astros and the Yankees? Your Yankees are rolling. It's Blanco versus Marcus Stroman, the Bronx Bombers, -130 favorites only.
Taking the Yankees. They've beaten Astros 9 straight times now, right? Astros don't look good at all here. Give me the Yankees. They're playing some good baseball.
And the Astros are one of the biggest money burners in the league.
I just don't want to play for clicks. I want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. Him leaving Colorado, a shot across the bow at Dion. I don't think Dion cares.
We saw Logan Diggs move on from LSU to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Don't be shocked if you see John Emery potentially maybe at another school, maybe like a Miss State or even maybe like a Texas A&M.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number 1 seed, you should have an easy path, but quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage late
sort
night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Well, the third period has finally started in Vancouver. I swear, man, the Rose Bowl halftime show was shorter than that intermission. Man, I know they extend them by what, like 3 minutes, I think? I think it goes from Ian Cameron steps up and in with us right now. Is it 18 minutes in the playoffs?
Exactly, Gabe. 15 to
They
18
go to
minutes
15 to 18, huh? Yeah.
For every playoff.
An extra 3 minutes of commercials.
Feels long. It feels longer than that, though. It feels like an extra 7.
You can really feel it. You can really feel it. Like that little, you know what it is? It's that last break. Like when it feels natural, like I looked up, I'm like, all right, they're about to start. It was like, no. They're coming. They're doing the football trick. You know what I mean? Well, it's about to start, but we're going to be back after, and we'll start when we come back. Like, it was like, okay, you're milking it again. So 18 minutes. Leon Draisaitl has a back issue. He's played 9 minutes. He's on the ice, though, right now. Something to keep our eye on. We'll see if Vancouver can score an early goal in the period and really get back in this thing. It's a closer game than the score looks. As in, you know what I mean? They're right there. What's your take on this game, Babano? Vancouver had bad puck luck, and let's be real, Seeloff's hasn't been a wall tonight. There's been deflections, but what's your take on the game so far?
Yeah, I mean, it was a rough start for Vancouver. I thought the second period they were the better team. I mean, that game was inches away. I mean, inches away from being 2-2, and the next thing you know, Edmonton gets back-to-back 2 quick ones, and it's 4-1. You know, and it's that much.
That fourth one was the backbreaker, huh? Like that was a bad goal. The fourth one, like 3-1's not the end of the world. 4-1 is like, oh, dude, like it's getting hard to come back now.
You can tell there's a bunch of casual Canuck fans, though, on Twitter that obviously are now just watching the team for the first time because they're quick to blame the goaltender. What's wrong with the goaltender tonight? It's not an Arturs Shelovs thing. You know what this is? This is a don't take a penalty for too many men on the ice in the first minute of the game, you know, and give an elite power play an opportunity to gain momentum thing. It's a don't turn the puck over thing, like Ian Cole, my fellow Ian, did in that first period that led to a.
He's been bad. Cole's a problem.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's okay. I mean, he made a nice play on one of the goals, but it was just that play. I spent like 5 minutes talking about it, Babano, him crashing the like. What did you think was going to happen of that angle? Like you couldn't have banked it. If you were trying to pass it to Draisaitl, you couldn't have done a better job. Like I don't understand why he didn't blast it. Like if you're there and you're like, I don't, because he was like panicked. It was like, all right, dude, rip it off the glass. Then we'll take our chance whenever it bounces, but get it out of here. And he just like a perfect bank. It was like playing pool. He banked it right off the back. Like I was like, dude, but he made a play after, and he did get hit with a puck can, but he's not playing poorly. It's just sort of bad luck. He got hit with a puck in front of the net after. That's hockey, though. It reminded me, and I brought it up earlier, this game reminds me of the game 2, Babano, of Vancouver-Nashville. You remember the game when Vancouver had like 84 shot attempts, but only like 40 of them got through. They hit the post a bunch of times, and that was the home game that they lost. It'll happen in hockey, man. You know what I mean? So I think Vancouver are okay in the big picture, but it was a terrible start for them.
To Babano's point, though, Gabe, they've been calling a lot of too many men on the ice penalties. I think Boston's setting a record. What do they have, Babano? 5? Where some other teams don't have whatever? Like, again, Florida scored on them. It's something they've been talking about. They're not screwing around. Even when a guy's getting off, if they see 6 guys on the ice, they're blowing it. Like, the Bruins coaches.
Teams are pretty casual, Cam, if you'll notice.
Yes.
Like, the guys will sort of, like, really skate off slowly, and guys will jump on. But like you said, Babano, unacceptable when to happen in the first...
I mean, really,
the first 2 minutes of game 1. You've just prepared for all this, and you guys have a line change problem here, right?
Exactly.
But hey, look, it cost the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs. That's how the goal was scored in overtime. A bad line change. You know, one guy came off. They didn't know. They threw Marner on. He can't catch Pasternak like that. Pasternak was already going too quickly. Bad line change. It's crazy. Hey, man. This has been happening forever, though, guys. Don Cherry got fired by the Boston Bruins because Guy Lafleur scored because they had too many men on the ice at the Montreal Forum. All right, in like 1978. So, 79, whatever, 78, 79. This stuff's been happening forever, but it's crazy that it does. It's sort of like, like a football analogy equivalent. It's like being offside, Babano.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you can't have it. You know, you can't bury yourself like that.
That will forever be the most famous and most deadly too many men penalty in NHL history. Don Cherry and the Bruins in 1979. Because they looked like without that, they were going to win that game. They were going to knock off Scotty Bowman and the Montreal Canadiens that year. And who knows?
Well, they were winning.
It would have been their year. Yeah. Yeah.
They were winning the game. They took the penalty. Then Guy Lafleur scored coming down the side, the famous goal. And then our boy, Yvon Lambert, scored the overtime winner. They came back. And that was it. It was the famous, too, for years. Don Cherry turning around to the Montreal fans at the Montreal Forum. He stood on the bench and he because they were all chanting his name, like, thank you and stuff. And he was like, all right, sarcastically took a bow. He got canned. Then he went to Colorado. He was coach of the Colorado Rockies.
The expansion team, yep. To Vancouver's credit, though, look, that's just they've been basically trying to climb uphill since that too many men penalty and Edmonton scored on the power play. But to their credit, they haven't taken a penalty since. So they've actually reined in the discipline, and that's going to be the key for them in this series if they're going to win it. They cannot be in the box against this team. You just can't have
and
it. There's never been a prolonged attack from Edmonton either in this game.
Mm-hmm. Like they've never been overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, you know what I mean? This is hard to handle. No, it's been like out of nowhere. Boom, goal. Can you believe it? Oh my God, it hits. Oh my God, goal. Right? Like it's been. It's, like I said earlier, Cam, this is what Vancouver have beaten a lot of teams the way Edmonton are beating them tonight.
The score is not
Vancouver getting a
of the
taste
play.
of their own medicine tonight.
Yep.
Nashville are watching this thinking, this is what happened to us against them.
Exactly. And we talk about it, Gabe. Hockey's that different sport. Hockey, soccer, it's not fair all the time. But Vancouver, if you really think about it, they've been, snake bitten in this game. They played a pretty good hockey game.
They're playing a good third period now. Right now, they're carrying the territorial play.
They've been
again.
the better team since like midway through the first period, in my opinion. Like Edmonton came out, they played good, and Vancouver's been the better team for the majority of the game.
They haven't really created enough chances though here in the third period. They've nullified Edmonton, but they need to start dialing it up offensively. Hughes, I think it was Hughes, just had a nice shot. I thought, no, it wasn't Hughes, but they just had a shot. They got to dial it up a little bit. They've held the Oilers to 14 shots on goal, guys.
I just don't want to play for clicks. I want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. Him leaving Colorado, a shot across the bow at Dion. I don't think Dion cares.
We saw Logan Diggs move on from LSU to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Don't be shocked if you see John Emery potentially maybe at another school, maybe like a Miss State or even maybe like a Texas A&M.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number one seed, you should have an easy path, but quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I'm Morency, kicking it Ian Cameron in house. Cam Stewart kicking to us 4-2 for the Edmonton Oilers over the Vancouver Canucks. This is the only game going on right now. We all have a lot of money on it as well. In-game total is now 7.5, which I have the over 7.5 right now. I feel pretty good about it still. We're at 6. There's going to be goalies pulled in this game at some point as well. Vancouver actually did score 2 goals against Nashville when they pulled their goalie last week. And the question is, can they get this next goal, man? I mean, we have played 8 minutes, guys. What do you think, Babano? Over, under 7.5. I've gotten over 7.5. I feel comfortable still. I'm not panicked. I like it.
Yeah, if I were to bet it live now, I would look the same direction. I've got over pregame as well, over 6, and we just need one more for that. And keep in mind, too, you mentioned how Vancouver scored 2 goals to tie it with Nashville, one of the games in that series. If you remember, too, and look, they're down by 2 right now. Tocchet's pulled the goalie down by 2 with about 3.5 minutes to go in that game in Nashville. So with plenty of time left as well. So if he goes to that same script again, 3.5 minutes or so, takes Shilov's out down 2, there's going to be plenty of opportunities to get the 2 goals you need.
Current number right now, Edmonton are 40-1. Vancouver are plus 1,400. The total is 7.5. They really screw you with that. If it's 40-1, you should be getting more than plus 1,400. But
so disgusting. Like it's not even like I get it. You need a little bit of yes, Gabe. Like come on.
Yeah, they can't get beat on like both 25. Sides, but
yeah, like come on, like enough. It's ridiculous now.
That's what they've done though. If you do the math, and I'm not one of these sharp math whiz guys when it comes to this stuff, but just notice the correlation: 40-1 plus 1,400. They're avoiding you from someone from hammering the 40-1 to make the profit and then swinging back on the plus 1,400. Like they've made it so you can't just squeeze out a profit just playing them both. That's their angle. Because otherwise, people with big bankrolls would do it. They'd realize, you know what, I could just, and there's a lot of smart math. And Babano, it's crazy that some of these MIT math dudes and DFS math guys and stuff. I know a dude, I'm not going to say his name, just out of, respect for his own personal income and stuff, but I know a dude, he was a big DFS guy, and he hammers these player props and he crushes them, but he's also got like another operation that he's basically just beating the books. Like he's the type of guy that the books don't want. Like he'll play both sides to squeeze out a 6-cent profit or a 4-cent profit. But the thing is, he's putting like $40K and $80K and stuff on it. So he's squeezing out a $4,000 profit, Cam.
Right.
Smart. With no risk. You know what I'm saying? No risk. He's figured it out like, I'll lay 60,000 on that and I'll come back on 12 on this. And either way, I'm going to win 2K or I'll win 4K. Like he's sort of figured out like some of these math guys, but those are the people that
either way. Yep.
Yeah. It's like they're called sort of stock bettors. It's like, you know what I mean? They don't care about the team. They don't care about the player's name. They don't care about the coach. Real Cam, it's just a stock. They're looking at the number and they're going, you know what? I can squeeze out a profit. I don't know if you remember years ago, before this stuff really got going, there was a feature on the guy on like the Fifth Estate or something. He beat Proline, Cam. And he wasn't even a genius or anything. He was just basically had a big bankroll. He took like $250K. And he basically he was playing like government sports parlay lotteries. And he would key in on, he'd need a game to win, but he would play like the 2 sides of the other side, Babano, of these parlays. And boom, 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 there it is. JT Miller. It's Miller time.
This is amazing. Wow. Is there any way that this thing can go to overtime?
We got a game, folks.
You called it earlier first. I'll give you credit. If it happens, I'll say you said it earlier first. I said, well, it's not that crazy if it goes to overtime.
Well,
but
I said this, Gabe. I just think the number.
I gave up on the Canucks. I'm not going to lie. No, when it was 4-1, I had my held down.
I've learned the hard way, man. I've learned the hard way. I've been winning in every game in the playoffs, and no lead is safe. Dallas Stars last night. I have other leads in these games. Like I've realized, like 2-goal leads mean nothing. They mean absolutely jack. And
that was a great playoff goal. Deflection. They
really
flicked it at the net, and Miller just chipped it in from the side. Chipped it in.
That was a beautiful goal. Absolutely beautiful. Yep.
4-3. What did I say earlier at intermission, too, if you remember? I said you break it into 2 10-minute halves. I said it, Babano. I said you're down 4-2. You get that goal before the 10-minute mark, and then you go into the last 10 minutes only needing 1 goal.
By the way, guys, something to remember. For the next round and the Stanley Cup final, every game 1 went over the total. New series, teams have been off for a while, a little sloppy defensively. Every game 1 went over the total.
Every game 1 went over, huh?
Yep.
What, in the second round? Yeah.
Second round.
I just don't want to play for clicks. I want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. Him leaving Colorado, a shot across the bow at Dion. I don't think Dion cares.
We saw Logan Diggs move on from LSU to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Don't be shocked if you see John Emery potentially maybe at another school, maybe like a Miss State or even maybe like a Texas A&M.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number one seed, you should have an easy path, but quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage late
sort
night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Oh, we got an epic hockey game going on right now. It's 4-3 with 9:37 left. And Edmonton, now they're the ones doing dumb things. They just took a tripping penalty. Vancouver on the power play. This is an opportunity for Vancouver to tie this hockey game up. Oh, my God. I thought they just were about to. I got to swear, man, Hughes is freaking due from the point. I'm betting him on Friday to score. He's due from the point. Like, he's coming close. So is Pettersson. But Pettersson's not scoring. Like, Pettersson's struggling more. Hughes is blasting these things. They're just not. Here you go. Again, just shoot Hughes again. You're effing due. There's Miller. All right, they're on the power play. $1:26 left on the power play. And it's a 4-3 game. We got that over 7.5. That's clearly in business right now. The in-game total, guys, is 8.5 right now. For those of you that are looking to be hardcore sitting at the table in Vegas, I would say over 8.5. You either get the empty net goals and or if Vancouver scores, you automatically win. 4-4. And they might score right here. Oh, big save, Skinner. Skinner! Let the puck in!
Come on, Skinner. You don't need Skinner. You need Armin Zantarian. Remember Skinner's doppelganger when he went to the.
Armin's cooler though. He's cooler. I need Skinner. I need Skinner to remember he's Skinner. Hey, you know what?
Mom, screw you. I'm Armin Zantarian. You know what?
I think they need to raise it up a notch. I'm going to go to the game Friday and sit behind Skinner and just razz him in like the mother's voice. Hey Skinner, you're a big loser. Do my laundry. Hey Skinner, you're late for work. Hey, Bart Simpson owns you. Skinner. Just bother him all game. Skinner!
I love it. It's too good.
Probably get kicked out. Today's day and age, they freak out about it. You know?
They don't kick Glassbanger out in Dallas. They can't kick you out for that. No way.
Yeah.
So we got quite the game. 8 minutes left in this game. 30 seconds left in the power play. And we had quite a game at the Garden tonight in the NBA, Babano, with the Knicks and the Pacers. And unbelievable, isn't it? I was on the Pacers. Cam was on the Pacers. Had them plus the points. I hammered the over. I hit 3 overs with the 218, the 228, and the 240. But I was on the Pacers as well, plus the points. And these guys have a double-digit lead. And not only do they not cover, not only they don't win the game, they don't cover the point spread. They're in a lot of trouble. This New York team just keeps finding a way. It's amazing, Babano. They're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. This team, the Pacers aren't coming back in this series.
I don't think so. Maybe you give them game 3. I do think they'll play well in game 3 and win that, but I think that might be their only win in the series when they get back to the field house there in Indiana, because they have played good on their home court. But to have those 2 games at Madison Square Garden where you have leads for major parts of both game 1 and game 2, and you have no win to show for it, and you find a way to, that's tough. So this is going to be
it's
a
like
bit
the
of
Lakers in Denver.
Yes.
Definitely.
Same thing. You play your ass off. You're the better team most of the time, and you lose. Right? Like eventually, it beats you down.
They just didn't get enough stops when they needed it. That's been the one issue all year for Indiana.
But that place will be a madhouse. That field house will be crazy on Friday.
I agree.
That's the game. They'll win that, I think, but that might be the only one they get.
Even if Indiana wins 2 there, guys.
No, I think they can win 2. Yeah, exactly. I'm just stating that.
Well, think about this. They should have won a New York game. So they're going to be at home now. Like, they really screwed up.
That's what I'm saying, Cam. They had their chance to win the series type thing. Like, you could have beaten them tonight and gone home, like 1-1 and really screwed. Like, you let him off the hook. Right. Dennis Green lives. May you rest in peace, coach, but you live forever. You let him off the hook. The Knicks are who we thought they were. Oh, my God. They did it.
Big Z. Big Z.
Overtime.
Game.
Oh, my God.
Give it to me.
The door off. 94-mile-an-hour slap shot.
Oh, Ben, I don't want to be on the air when this game is there. Come on now. Let's go.
Oh, my God.
What a
There's
shot.
The over 8.5. There's all the overs.
There it is. Holy
just set. Over 8.5. Boom. All you need is 1 goal from Vancouver. You get it. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Skinner. See, I'd be hitting him now. Skinner. You come after him hard now.
Game 9-1, 11-1, all this stuff. 2-goal lead in hockey. Like,
dear God, it was 40-1 plus 1,400.
I know. I wish
it was plus 1,400.
Wrinkles. I got too much tied up. That's the thing. I don't have time to go to the bank and do all these transfers while we're doing a show. Like, should have actually done it.
Well, for me, I already have like $2,000 on this game, so I'm like, I can't just keep chasing this. I'm already like, I got like a lot of money on this already. Like,
even if I got reprimanded from work, the amount of money I could win in this game would make up for missing a shift, or maybe a week's work.
What do you need to run to an ATM? What do you need to do?
I got a lot of things.
They do not have a shot on goal in this period, Edmonton. They're stuck on 14.
Babano, after the first period, Babano, at one point, it was like 10-3 on shots on goal. Since it's like 23-3 on shots on goal. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
True. Yeah, I mean, they've got Edmonton.
7-0 in this period. 7-0 in the third period. Here they come again. They might score here.
Oh, my God.
Garland. He did.
He did.
Oh, he did. Oh, my God.
Put it in the 5-goal. Unbelievable. 5-4 Canucks.
This is epic.
Oh, wow.
This is unreal.
Holy
man, I'd like to see all the people who were talking smack earlier, too. Oh, the Canucks this. I saw some of it in the chat. Here we go, baby.
I wish I put my whole account on this thing, but I only sprinkled Babano when they were down 2. Got to have the stones to go for it. Wow, this is nuts.
Easy. Yeah, look at those people in Edmonton. They're not dancing so much anymore, are they?
The ice district is ice
cold.
Right?
I've always learned, man, the cockiness and stuff like that. Like anything can happen in a hockey game. Skinner's rattled now. Vancouver, they just came back in the third. This is nuts. Look at this.
Here we go. It's real now. I even got this is a good T-shirt. This one, Whitecaps.
Yeah, that's nice.
Roll, baby.
Unbelievable.
I got to tell you, Babano, I wish we had honestly, this is you could have really made your year if you had the stones to do what we talked about, but it's hard. Yeah. Gabe said it. There's only so much money you have tied up. But this is good.
Down 4-1, that price on Vancouver was, it was right there. So huge.
Wow, this crowd is lit right now. Yeah, well, we knew that's as high as it got. It was 40-1. The Oilers, so there is somebody out there, no doubt. There's some rich dumbass that put $80,000 to win $2,000 or something on the Oilers, but that's what it was 40-1. As high as we saw was plus 1,400. So that's what you could have cashed on the money line. They haven't won yet, though. There's still 4.5 minutes left.
No. There's tons of time left. Tons of time left.
They haven't won yet. The plus 2.5 for the Vancouver Canucks, though, are about to win.
Scary
that was a quick swing.
What are the odds of them if they do win in regulation? Not even overtime. That's the whole thing. Do you know what their price was on a three-way line?
That's what I said.
Dude,
I said, no. If they win, they'll have to do it in overtime.
That's my point. On the three-way line, they were like, what was it, Babano? You saw it was not on the two-way, on the three-way. It was like, was it 30? Like, what's the number here?
It had 25, 30, yeah. They were even crazy. 4-3. It was still plus 500 on Vancouver.
Canuck fans are like strangers are like hugging each other right now and stuff. They're elated in this arena.
I'm going to be honest with you. There's going to be a lot of things happening in Vancouver tonight. A lot of happy people, a lot of people not going to work, and a lot of people partying all night long if this holds up. This is the opposite of the league.
They flashed it up on the screen. It's 18-3 shots.
Yeah, 18-3 since the second period of the battle. After the first intermission.
Big stop, Shelob. Huge save. Huge stop.
Hey.
Oh, now Vancouver's minus 1,100. Holy jeez. This is
this is where you just take Edmonton. Ever. We should have just put 500 before, now 500 now. You kick back and laugh at that.
I know. It's just not happening. No. We got plus 2.5.
I like to see, though. I haven't even, on my Twitter, I got a million missed tweets. I haven't even looked, but I posted a video right before. A lot of people were howling at my pick. I put my money where my mouth was, too.
You're taking names and numbers now.
Canucks in 6, I said. Canucks in 6.
Get your list. Get your list.
I just don't want to play for clicks. I want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. Him leaving Colorado, a shot across the bow at Dion. I don't think Dion cares.
We saw Logan Diggs move on from LSU to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Don't be shocked if you see John Emery potentially maybe at another school, maybe like a Miss State or even maybe like a Texas A&M.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number one seed, you should have an easy path, but quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. Wow. Absolute craziness. Absolute. What like this is the Stanley Cup playoffs. You can't top it. Listen, the NBA playoffs been pretty good this year. The Knick games have been pretty lit and stuff, but it hasn't been like the same drama. It's been like, wow, the teams have looked good, but the games, there hasn't been a lot of buzzer beaters and stuff like that. But Stanley Cup playoffs, man. We've had 9 overtime games, 2 overtime games last night. The Bruin game tonight with the Panthers, the final score wasn't a true indication. It was actually a close game for the most part until it got busted open. This game has been crazy, in which the Edmonton Oilers had a 4-1 lead on the Vancouver Canucks, but the Canucks just wouldn't go away. Every time, like, Edmonton looked like they were going to pull away, Vancouver would score, and they sort of, would linger, and they kept it around 2, and it just exploded in the third period of play. But what's going to be overshadowed by this, and you talked about it, Babano, I brought it up earlier as well, about even when they were losing, when the Canucks were losing earlier, I said, this bodes well for them Friday. I said, they're losing the game, but they're winning the battle in a way. Like, McDavid and Draisaitl aren't owning them. They don't have any, like, legitimate scoring opportunities, really. They're taking away the lanes. They're hitting them. They were doing everything. Edmonton just had a couple of not lucky goals, whatever. They scored, right? Flash goals, let's call them. Boom, out of nowhere. Boom, right? Flash goals. Vancouver, they've done a good job. And case in point, you talked about the shots on goal, bro. Like, since that 10-3, it was 10-3 in the first period, guys. It's now 24-15. So what's that? 22-5 since the first period. That's crazy. 22-5.
Big difference.
We talked
empty
about
net
Edmonton,
now for
and they're a great team, but there's a lot of still issues with the team. Like, they're not head and shoulders. Like you saw what happened tonight. Like, this is crazy. They had a 3-goal lead in this game with a young goalie on the ropes. So,
yeah,
I thought that Edmonton just had a nice pass through the slot there.
Game against LA too. So, yeah, they're weird like that. They did win a 1-0 game.
Well, that's the whole thing, Babano. Okay, but people coming into this series, people were so like, we were about the number. And it wasn't just the number. Everybody in the media, I don't know, like, you're on the ice, guys. Let me ask you, Babano. Let me ask you, I was just looking. The puck went off of Miller's stick into the crowd. Edmonton were looking for a penalty there, but he didn't shoot it over. He didn't shoot it over. Dude, that was crazy. Nugent Hopkins put it through. It went through his pads and through the crease. Like, that was a scary situation. So, $1:27 left. So, on the ice, guys, Babano, what were the predictions? Cam said Oilers in 7. My prediction was Canucks in 6. I bet it at 10-1. What was your prediction for the series? What was Alex B. Smith? What was the Crew's predictions?
Alex was away today, but on the show. But I had Oilers in 6 and Oilers in 7. I have a 4-2 and a 4-3 exact series result bet on the Oilers. I did think Vancouver was going to push these guys, but I ended up still going with Edmonton in the end.
I'm getting worried I'm going to get screwed. Vancouver's going to remember. I said last night, Vancouver in 5, Vancouver in 4. My Vancouver in 6 and 7 is not going to come into play. There's still 50 seconds left here, though.
Yes. This is one of the more dangerous teams with the extra man. So lots.
Yeah, empty net right now.
This out. Yeah.
If I was Vancouver, that last one too was sort of a half. It wasn't really like a real attempt at the empty net. Like, you got to bury it, man. Like, the net's empty right now, guys. I don't have a problem. If it's icing, it's icing. Like, seriously, I trust you. Win a damn face-off after. Yeah, like, if you get the puck, blast it. Like, finish the game off. Oh no, here they come. Oh, God. Block. Yeah, who was that? He's limping. Besser.
Unbelievable. I think, yeah.
Oh, my God. Draisaitl with the shot from the slot. Oh, God, this is insane.
Susie had a big block, too. Carson Susie, as he got that guy. Look out. What a block by Miller at the end.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Oh, but the 4 regular season games didn't mean anything. Yeah, it's different. It's going to be different now. Okay.
Wow.
Make it 5 in a row. Make it 5 in a row for Vancouver over Edmonton. Good thing they made them minus 280 favorites.
Yeah.
People got smoked tonight. Like, I mean,
wow,
like, people
what a classic.
And stuff like that. Wow, this is crazy, man.
People are going to be talking about this one that are in the arena in Vancouver for a while.
This is the thing about Edmonton, too, is as a team that's fragile in the past, and let me know from a guy who cheers for a fragile hockey club, this is, like, think about Vancouver now. Like, you came back down 3 goals against these guys. Your goalie was let in some real crazy stuff off deflections, and you have the balls to come back in the third period and win in regulation?
Regulation?
Like, think about how crazy this is.
They won it.
Imagine
But
their
5-on-5,
confidence moving
much
forward
better.
now, guys.
Oh,
Coming
I
back on
know.
Nashville down 3-1 with a minute and a half left, 2 minutes left. They scored 2 goals.
Well,
now this, they're just going to feel like, guys, we're never out of the game. Their confidence going to be sky high. And Seelovs as well, which I was worried about with Banner. I wasn't burying the kid, but you put a lot of pressure on him. He carried you. I was saying before, you got to go to Casey DeSmith. But as soon as I said that, Vancouver made it 4-2 after. And it sort of changed the dynamic, right? If you're down 4-1, maybe you consider making a goalie change after. But he didn't face a lot of shots after. There was clearly the defenseman in the Canucks clearly said, listen, we got to help this kid out tonight. And we're going to start blocking some shots, which they did. But he made some big-time saves, Babano, in the last 2-3 minutes there. So he gets his confidence back after his confidence was rattled. And it clearly was rattled.
He didn't have to face a lot in the third, but he did make a couple saves in the final 3-4 minutes there. The shot blocking, whether it was Soucy and Ian Cole and JT Miller, man, just a couple of big shot blocks in that final sequence. That's what win games in the playoffs, especially protecting a 1-goal lead.
Thing about Miller is he's such a gamer, he'll take a crazy penalty, but he also do game-saving stuff. Think about how huge he was in the third period there. That guy, he's a money player. Guy's money.
All right. We'll get the Thursday night best bets on the other side, NBA and NHL. We'll take a look at the Major League Baseball board as well, but we'll focus in on the association. Big time game tomorrow night. Both Dallas teams in action tomorrow night, and both Dallas teams are kind of better win situations, not must win situations, but better win situations.
I just don't want to play for clicks. I want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. Him leaving Colorado, a shot across the bow at Dion. I don't think Dion cares.
We saw Logan Diggs move on from LSU to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Don't be shocked if you see John Emery potentially maybe at another school, maybe a Miss State or even maybe a Texas A&M.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number 1 seed, you should have an easy path, but quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage late
This sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Wow, what a wild night in Vancouver tonight. An absolutely epic comeback by the Vancouver Canucks, down 4-1, paying plus 1,400, plus 1,500 into the third period, come back and win the game, not even in overtime, in regulation. That's just insane. A complete collapse by the Edmonton Oilers. Game 2 is on Friday night, and since everybody are just a bunch of sheep, I'm sure that the Edmonton Oilers will be favored again. Bring it on. Let's go. So this time I'm going to be in the building, Babano. I'm going to be there I'm going to be in the building. And I was at one game so far, and they did win when I was there. So I'm hoping to keep this track record going in the playoffs here.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's funny? You mentioned watch Edmonton be favored again in game 2. They'll probably be even minus 145 or something, a little higher because they lost tonight. They'll probably actually pad the number more toward Edmonton.
Yeah, people say, they were winning 4-1. They should have won. And that'll be the thing where people are going to back them. So let's see how quick we have a number. And we do. Wow. Give credit to FanDuel. They're freaking fast with numbers.
They're very fast. Yeah, they are.
Yes. Edmonton Oilers, and good call, Babano. Edmonton Oilers are bigger favorites. Minus 146.
I'm going to guarantee you, Gabe, wait. That line will go to $1.60 by puck drop, maybe even higher.
You're
it's
right.
One of those things. Oh, man, Edmonton can't go down 2-0. You know what? Things can happen in life, like crazy things. Have we not watched these things happen? Vancouver coming back from 2 goals down in the third. Colorado coming back. All these things, man. Like, it's just hockey. These playoffs are nuts. So you wait. I guarantee that line will close, and I guarantee it'll be, Babano, $1.60 or more. I would even say like $1.60. And people are going to run to the window to bet Edmonton.
The bounce back spot, the zigzag theory, whatever you want to call it.
They made it 6.
Vancouver.
They made it 6.5. The total. Minus 118 to the under. Minus 104 to the over. All right, we got to be fast here, Babano. So quickly, Canes and Rangers tomorrow. I think the Canes do bounce back. It's 70 cents. I see 76 cents. It's in that range right now. What's your take? Who do you like in this one quickly? And then we'll get the Avs and Stars pick.
So I like Carolina, but I hate the money line price. So what I'm going to do is Carolina to score in the first period, which is about $1.60. You have to lay $1.60, and Carolina team total over, I believe it's 3.5 at a plus price. That's the route I'm going to take, that I think they can get some goals finally against the Rangers. But they have to stay out of the box, and that's why I'm concerned about taking Carolina on the money line. Their defense and their penalty kills struggling against that Rangers power play.
Cam, what's your pick for the Canes and the Rangers?
I'm on Carolina in regulation. To Babano's point, too, and you know, Gabe, Shesterkin can steal a game. You saw what he did in game 2 there. Carolina had many chances, so that's a very dangerous money line play. So just for less juice, I'll take them in reg, but I do think Carolina wins like a 5-3 hockey game tomorrow.
And our boy Ghoster in the house says he's going chalk at the Wells Fargo.
Yep.
Xander at 11-1, Max Homa at 22-1, Sam Burns at 45-1. Cam, you're on Wyndham Clark. I like Brady Cannon was on Heath Tagala. I like the Wyndham Clark pick, even though it's so trendy and all this. He's a defending champ, but I think he's going to be right there.
I agree, Gabe.
And I think Hideki Matsuyama. I don't think people are talking about Hideki enough.
I have Hideki for top 10 and top 20s, plus 120 for a top 20. That tells you how good the value is. Clark at 18, Gabe. Cameron Young at 30. Will Zalatoris at 40. And my bomb is Austin Eckroat, a guy who hits it really long, Oklahoma State kid, 90-1. Let's win some money at the Wells Fargo. Man, what a night.
Babano? Dallas Stars, Colorado Avalanche tomorrow night. A similar situation. The Stars were the ones. They blew a 3-0 lead last night. Who do you like tomorrow in that one?
Now, Dallas did fall down 2-0 at home to Vegas in the first round. So, you don't put it past Colorado that they can't win another one. But I think Dallas would be in worse shape being down 2-0 to this team compared to Vegas. I think Dallas responds, but I'm going to go with the same route as Carolina. I'm going to go team total, and I think they'll get over 3.5 in that game.
All right, so my best bets tomorrow night, I do like the Carolina Hurricanes to beat the New York Rangers, minus 170. The Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars, I do think the Stars are going to win the game. But, Babano's right. They could lose this game and then go to Colorado and win. But Colorado's a tough place to win, all right? Not that Vegas isn't, but Colorado's different. Vegas had flat legs. Colorado do not. Mm-hmm. So this is a big-time game. I think the Dallas Stars do get it done. As far as the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers are concerned, I think the Celtics beat them up again tomorrow. I'm not going to get in front of this. Maybe I'll take the Cavs when they're at home, but not in this spot. And the Dallas Mavericks and the Oklahoma City Thunder, Dallas got roughed up good in the first game. I don't think they get run out of the gym again, but I think Oklahoma City are going to beat them again. And they'll probably cover the 5 again. Other than that, you're on your own later.